Every word Mikel Arteta said about Newcastle, Ethan Nwanery's injury, transfers, and referees. Mikel Arteta spoke to the media in a pre-match press conference ahead of Arsenal's clash against Newcastle in the League Cup. The Gunners may have the advantage of playing at home, but they know they face a formidable opponent in a Newcastle side that is in great form. Arteta expressed his frustration over the increasing number of player injuries and confirmed that illness continues to be a challenge for the team. He also shared his disappointment regarding the controversial penalty decision during the Brighton match. There was ample time to discuss the January transfer window and the reasons behind the club's cautious approach to signing new players. Here's a rundown of his remarks from Friday morning, prior to their trip to the South Coast. Update on Nwanery. Unfortunately, he has sustained an injury and will be sidelined for a few weeks. What's the issue? It's a muscle problem. Havertz back? I hope so, but I hesitate to say yes after last time when I thought he'd be fit and he wasn't. Still dealing with illnesses in the squad? Yes. Has it impacted other players? I hope not. First chance for a trophy this season? I'm very excited for this match. It's a local crowd, a semi-final, and an opportunity to secure a place in the final. It all begins tomorrow. We know it's going to be a challenging two-legged tie against a highly competitive team. We're eager for a fantastic atmosphere at our stadium. What would a trophy mean for this team? I can't say. Our focus is on winning tomorrow. It's a long journey ahead. Our goal is to outperform our opponent and secure the victory. Isak is a player you need to stop. Is he someone you admire? He's undoubtedly a top player in excellent form, scoring consistently. A key part of our game plan will be to minimize the strengths of our opponents. Does Bruno's suspension amplify your chances? I focus on my players and those available, maximizing their potential. Regarding the Brighton penalty, if more decisions like that are made, will defenders hesitate to challenge in the box? I voiced my opinion on this. We faced Brighton twice. One match unjustly saw us down to 10 men for 45 minutes, and the other featured a clearly incorrect penalty. Those are the conditions we must navigate, and unfortunately, we can't change that. With injuries and illnesses, do you feel less fortunate than last season? Will you consider adding players in January? Our stance hasn't changed. The priority is to work with the players we have. We're aware of the market, but our focus remains on our current squad. Tomorrow night is crucial for us. Injuries, illnesses, suspensions. It's a semi-final. Let's focus on the positives. With 2 matches, should it feel like all cup games? It doesn't matter. They're 2 important matches. But in your view, my opinion is secondary. If I had to choose one, it would be at home. That's what I prefer. What about Newcastle and Eddie Howe? That's for him to address. They pose challenges for everyone as they're a very good team. They're well coached and feature exceptional individual players, making them tough opponents. We'll hear from the referees at the stadium. Are you looking forward to that? Yes, any decision that brings clarity and transparency is beneficial. Regarding the Brighton penalty and Joe Linton incident, how difficult is it for a top manager to guide players on the rules of the game now? We train within the rules, but some aspects are open to interpretation, making it challenging for referees to make calls consistently. We have to understand this and adapt our training accordingly, but it's tough because we can't predict every situation. Is it difficult for you too? Absolutely. It connects to our training, as we don't train players to keep their arms away from their bodies or to handle the ball when an opponent is far. It's a challenge for everyone. Are you enjoying this season? Is it a test? I love it. We're competing in all tournaments and are where we want to be in most of them. Of course, in the league, circumstances have kept us from the top, and I understand that. We work daily to improve without making excuses. Everyone faces challenges, and we strive to overcome them while remaining a very good team. In every press conference, it seems we discuss a new injury. How do the players feel about it? We've had to adjust our approach and play players in positions they've never played before. However, we're learning a lot from this, and I'm gaining insights into the team's resilience. It's been an opportunity for growth. Any updates on Kieran Tierney? No updates. Kieran is our player. Can you recall a run of injuries like this since you became Arsenal manager? Probably not. How challenging is it for you to find solutions as a coach? It's a valuable learning process, not just tactically but also in preparation and training with limited players. Today, we had only 7 or 8 players available, and we had to fill the squad with unfamiliar faces. It's an opportunity for growth, and I'll embrace the lessons learned. How do you think Mourinho is adapting to the team? He's made significant progress over the past 2 weeks. He's had more continuity and minutes. Physically, he's in a much better place now, having missed the entire pre-season and several weeks due to injury. You can see he's developing. 4 two-legged matches. How do you prepare? It's similar to Champions League preparations, but our goal is always to win, to excel in our roles, and to earn the right to win the game. That will never change, regardless of how many we have. Is the threshold for signing players at Arsenal high? Does it lower in January as you have to be more reactive? In terms of quality and level, we maintain high standards. We want players who can truly elevate and impact the team, whether from the academy or through signings. Bringing in players just to fill numbers doesn't help us. Do you hope the Emirates Stadium can play a significant role tomorrow night? Absolutely. I have immense admiration for the Emirates. The energy we can generate with our supporters is fantastic and positive. Tomorrow, we aim to create a thrilling atmosphere against a strong opponent in the Cup semi-final that we want to win. With 9 games in January and only 3 last year, do you think it was a scheduling mistake not to have a winter break? Certainly, a winter break would benefit all teams and especially players, given the demanding schedule over the past 2 seasons. However, we knew from the outset that being in every competition would mean no break, and that's how we prepared. Is the number of matches affecting your performance over 90 minutes? Is it impossible in the Premier League to sustain pressure throughout the game? Sometimes credit must go to the opponent, as it's physically demanding. The way we play, especially with fewer players available, makes rotation difficult, but our goal is to maintain our intensity. A blow for Ethan? Yes. To be fair, he didn't really know what was wrong. He mentioned, "I'm feeling something, but I don't know what it is." He earned the opportunity to play for us, starting in some big matches and making an impact in various positions. I'm devastated for him because this injury will halt his momentum, but it's part of his developmental journey, and I'm pleased with how he's progressing. When will Sterling return? I hope it's very soon. William Saliba's frustrating penalty could cost Arsenal the title. Mikel Arteta must act in January. As Football.London examines the implications of Arsenal's draw against Brighton, it becomes clear that the penalty awarded to William Saliba has dashed the team's title hopes. After a snowstorm followed the match on the South Coast Saturday night, I found myself reflecting on the missed opportunity and the harsh reality of what had transpired. It was evident that the Gunners, facing a significantly weakened squad, were always at risk of dropping points. Driving through the wind and snow, I couldn't shake off the feelings of injustice, frustration, and inevitability. I thought I had become immune to these occurrences, almost expecting them, but the way Arsenal drew this game struck a nerve. While the penalty was pivotal, it felt like a symptom of a larger issue. The entire game seemed overshadowed by it. I couldn't help but recall Mario Balotelli's infamous celebration, lifting his shirt to ask, "Why always me?" That encapsulated the sentiment many Arsenal supporters felt as the match drew to a close, knowing it wouldn't end in a dramatic victory. This isn't just an isolated incident for Arsenal. Just months ago, the club faced another shocking controversy. In fact, it has become such a regular occurrence that one could easily compile a scrapbook of the peculiar injustices that seem to plague Arsenal while sparing other teams. Take William Saliba's dismissal against Bournemouth, where he was penalised for denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity, even as other players, like Dossonad Arabio, Mickey van de Ven, and Joe Gomez, committed similar or worse offences without facing any retrospective action from referees or VAR. Leandro Trossard received a second yellow for kicking the ball away, while Jeremy Doku did the same earlier in the match without repercussions. The timing was almost comical. Less than a second elapsed between the whistle and Trossard's dismissal. Declan Rice was sent off for a seemingly innocuous incident after a ball touch, and Gabriel Martinelli faced a unique punishment of 2 yellows for infractions that are often overlooked. Takahiro Tomiyasu was shown a second yellow for minimal contact with Jordan Ayew, which begs the question, has there ever been a harsher second yellow? The list goes on. David Luiz was dismissed for contact initiated by an opponent, while Granit Xhaka received his marching orders for typical yellow card challenge aimed at stopping play against Swansea City, something that usually warrants just a warning. We could also discuss VAR failing to chalk off a Brentford goal before Arsenal's encounter with Manchester City, which cost valuable points, or Mikel Arteta being reprimanded for celebrating a last-minute winner, resulting in a touchline ban against Aston Villa. These cumulative incidents have led to a broader recognition beyond just Arsenal fans. The football community is starting to take note. Now, with 40 points after 20 matches, exactly the same tally as last season, the stakes are higher. From this point onward, Arsenal cannot afford to lose points in more than 2 of the remaining 18 games. It will take a monumental effort, along with several key players returning from injury, to replicate last season's success. The challenges this season are compounded by the injuries and recent illness affecting Mikel Arteta's squad, leaving them in a precarious position. The team nearly triumphed at one of the league's most challenging venues, missing key players like Bukayo Saka, Ben White, and Kai Havertz, and losing their top scorer, Ethan Nwaneri, at half-time. They fought valiantly, with Nwaneri even putting them ahead. Losing him, especially now, would be a significant blow, as he has been a shining light in recent matches. After the game, Arteta stated that a decision on transfers couldn't be made based on a single performance. While he may be tempering expectations, I understand the frustration of those who feel this is short-sighted. This team clearly needs reinforcements, and as the January window approaches, I sincerely hope a substantial effort is made to bolster the squad. Without decisive action, the trophies within reach could slip away all too quickly.